This is an overview of the new BMPlus 3Z. The new BMPlus 3Z has been updated to offer features that help with current equipment installations. The footprint is smaller. This adds flexibility to the board placement at the job site. With the cover off, you see both sides on both sides of the wiring terminals. With the cover on, you have a status LED, which scrolls through system operations. You also have 8 LEDs which show zones that are calling and current system operation at a glance. We always have technical support at 1-800-446-3110, and you can always find it on the blue sticker on the back of every panel from EWC. We have the EWC Controls mobile app. This has a bypass calculator, zoning system products, product manuals, how-to videos. The BMPlus 3D features, it offers 3 stages of heat, 2 stages of cool. It's a 3-zone, expandable to 9-zone, built-in dual fuel kit, status scrolling LCD screen, 4-button programming using the LCD screen, a set of 8 system and damper LEDs, a data 24-volt output terminal feature, and optional staging features, zone weighting, which is new to the 3Z, and we also have the 50% rule and timer, which was available on the BMPlus 3000. We have a new fresh air feature and a new safety interlock. Notice the layout of the board. We used to have all the thermostats on one side and all the dampers on the other. Now we're going to bunch them together. Zone 1 thermostat, Zone 2 thermostat is on the right side. Zone 3 thermostat and dampers are on the left side. You're going to be able to hook up 2-stage outdoor condensing units, 2-stage gas furnaces, 2-stage heat pumps, O-type and B-type. We also are introducing an S1, S2 safety relay. It will have a cuttable link that you will have to snip if you need to use it, and we also have a cuttable link if you need separate transformers for RC and RH. The S1, S2 safety relay is perfect for A2L refrigerant applications. Use purge normally closed or normally open, depending on the RDS for refrigerant detection. It is also good for emergency overflow pan switches, as well as your safety circuit for your condensate pumps. When the safety device is not energized, system operates normally. When it is open, all dampers open and the fan is energized while canceling all mode calls until the circuit resets. With a fire alarm system, the opposite happens. When energized, all dampers shut and all operations are canceled. This is to help with smoke migration. We also have a new fresh air option. You can set manually or you can answer questions to determine the minutes per hour that are required according to the ASHRAE 62.2. Square foot of the dwelling. We got the number of occupants and the size of the fresh air damper. The board will do the math for you and inform you of the minimum minutes per hour needed. If desired, you can install an OAS outdoor air sensor and set parameters for high and low temperature limits. Fresh air high limits are 70 degrees to 105 degrees. Fresh air low limits are 30 degrees to 50 degrees. If we're hooking up a fresh air damper, you will have to use Zone 3 for a 3-zone panel, Zone 6 for a 6-zone panel, and Zone 9 for a 9-zone panel. We will always use a separate transformer. Never use a transformer out of the equipment. This is to eliminate EMI. You also have a 24-volt RC terminal that you can use to power a smart bypass damper or to power another board. When you hook up the system, you will have Zone 1 and Zone 2, thermostat and damper on the right side of the board, and Zone 3 on the left side of the board. You have a data power output. This is for communicating with expansion panels or a DAPC. Backed by popular demand, the BMPlus 3Z offers a 1-zone control where you can switch the zone board from a zoning control to a 1-zone control from Zone 1. To energize this, you can use a time clock, light switch, or commercial grade thermostat with occupied and unoccupied terminals. This is perfect for vacation mode or for residential or commercial setback. If you need to use multiple dampers, you can use with the 40 VA transformer up to 15 EWC, ND, URD, or SID dampers. With the 50 VA transformer, you can use up to 20. We do highly recommend using the ND, URD, and SID dampers. This is going to make sure we use our 1.5 VA draw on dampers, not your spring load dampers, which can pull anywhere from 8 to 10 VA. The supply air sensor comes with every panel and is used for discharge temperature readout, which can be available on the LCD screen and is also used for system heating and cooling limits. We also have an outdoor air sensor available. This can be used for dual fuel applications, fresh air limits, or to inhibit two-stage operations. The four-wire or four-button programming, the left and right button to navigate to select menu features, the up and down buttons to change or adjust the options in a particular feature. Changes will take effect in real time, and the BMPlus 3Z will remember the settings even in the event of a power failure. These are all the programming options with the BMPlus 3Z. The beauty of this board is that it has intuitive contractor programming. This takes the confusion away from zone board programming. When the type of system or feature is selected, only options and parameters for that type of system or feature are displayed. This helps from scrolling through features or options not used or needed. This is what the options will be. For instance, your system type, heat or cool, emergency, your thermostat type, heat or cool or heat pump. Your emergency, if we have a compressor failure and we have a heat pump, then we can set the emergency heat to on. You'll have your fan mode operation, your hydro fan delay at 45 seconds if needed, your purge with or without fan, and the length of the purge. If we choose to use an outdoor air sensor, then we will use this to control your outdoor air balance point on a dual fuel system going from fossil fuel to heat pump, or a W2 lockout, which means if the temperature outside is warm enough and we don't need second stage, then we will lock it out. Then for all the systems, we will set our gas limit, our heat pump limit, or our cooling limit. Now, the staging options for second stage with the BMPlus 3Z, new is going to be stage by weight, but we also have stage by time and 50% rule, which was available with the BMPlus 3000. Time is very simply set the time that you want to delay second stage from coming on. Once the timer is off, second stage will be initiated and stay on until all zones are satisfied. But if you choose to use the 50% rule, then we're going to look at the number of zones calling as well as time. The number of zones calling, if 50% or above are calling, then we will energize second stage. But below 50%, we will lock the system on in first stage and inhibit second stage. Now, if we're using weight as our feature, we're going to run this on a scale for Y1 and Y2, first and second stages, from 1 to 100. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our demand delay. The demand delay is factory set at 20 minutes, but we can set it from 5 minutes to 45 minutes. This is the amount of time we're going to run first stage before we even think about going to second stage. Then we will look at our W2 heat on. Now, for a furnace, this will be 60%. With the heat pump, W2 will be 95%, and this is adjustable. Now, a nice feature here is we can cut the W2 to off, especially for my southern contractors who have furnaces that are way too big, and we can lock it on to first stage if capacity demands are met. Then we ask ourselves, do we have Y2? If we have two compressors, then we're going to plain and simply set our Y2 heat on and heat pumps at 70% as default, and Y2 cool on at 70% of the zones. And this is adjustable from 50 to 70% in 5-degree increments. Then we're going to set the weights to the zones that we're using to control and to determine the demand from the zone. If we also have a demand boost, the demand boost helps increase and fine tune the weight control. We can set our default damper position, our scale as far as Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then we'll also see the version of the board. Now on the zone control by weight, again, we're going to be using a scale from 0 to 100. And what we're doing is we're using the default percentages for these examples. W2 heat on is going to be at 60%. Y2 heat on is at 70%, as well as Y2 cooling on at 70%. And then our W2 heat from the factory on heat pumps only will be set at 95%. So let's look. First example, two-story home, two-stage with furnace, two-stage gas furnace. Our cooling weight downstairs is 30%. Our cooling weight upstairs is 70%. Therefore, in cooling, zone 2 can initiate second stage cooling, but zone 1 cannot without a zone 2 call. Because zone 2 has a 70% weight, it can automatically energize second stage. Zone 1 cannot. In heating, our heating weight downstairs is 60%, and our heating weight upstairs is 30%. Zone 1 can call for second stage heating, but zone 2 cannot without a call from zone 1 because of the weights. Do notice that the weights do not have to equal 100, but they cannot go over 100 as far as total zones and weights combined. Our second example, a three-stage heat pump on ranch home. Cooling weight is 50%. Cooling weight in zone 1 is 50%. In zone 2 is 30%. And in zone 3 is 20%. These are the defaults from the board. Now, in cooling, Y2 is locked out without a combination of zone 1 and any other zone to energize Y2, because 50% is zone 1, 50 and 30 is 80, which puts us above our 70. 50 plus 20 is 70, which puts us right on our Y2 setting. You can set these wherever you'd like. Now in heating, our living area is 50% zone 1. Our heating weight is 30% zone 2. And heating weight in zone 3 is 20%. Again, in heating, Y2 is locked out without a call from zone 1 and any other zone to energize Y2. Now, if we're going to third stage heat on a two-stage compressor heat pump, what we'd have to do is have all three zones calling 50 plus 30 plus 20, which gives us 100, which would be past our 95% threshold to make sure we energize W2. To hook up DAPC is very simple. You plain and simply use your power terminals and your data and hook up the DAPC. We can hook up an expansion panel, and from the expansion panel allow us to have data RNC, which will go to our DAPC also. We can hook up to three boards where we have zones 1 through 3, we have zones 4 through 6, and zones 7 through 9, and then use the RC terminals power to power our SBD. This is the conclusion of our overview. For further information, please reference the Quick Start Guide and the technical bulletin available in the literature in the board or on our website or on our app. If you have any questions, you can always call the 800-446-3110 located on the blue sticker on the back of every panel. Thank you for your time.